Jackson, you were 15.
Mm-hmm.
Were you reading Twilight?
Not at that point.
Okay,
I
you
didn't
came
read
to it later.
Twilight. Yeah, I didn't read Twilight until the last book was coming out. And I think I had sort of heard about it. I kind of have this memory of like one girl a year younger than me who had the Twilight books on her bookshelf. And I was like, oh, she must be into like weird vampire romance. That's very strange. And that was kind of I think my only awareness as the earlier books were coming out. But by the fourth book, like the movies were starting and it was a really big thing. And so I ended up reading them for two reasons. One was I was working at Barnes and Noble at the time. And so I was scheduled to work the midnight release of Breaking Dawn, the fourth and like final book of the main series of Twilight. And our events director was like, not a single one of you who is working this event has ever read a Twilight book. And will someone else please just read one of these books so you know what's going on? And so we were allowed to check out like the Twilight book for free from the store to read the first one. And I did. And I like sped through it. I read all four of them. Like just that week in a few days. I got really, really into the books, pretty much just into the books. Like I didn't get into it in any further way. But another reason I was interested in reading them beyond our events director just being like, please, dear God, someone else read this with me, was for many years before that, I'd been listening to a Harry Potter fan podcast that I was hugely into. And
was it ours?
As the Twilight movies, wait, which one?
That's not how time works, Marcel. Really to break
what
it
was it ours?
Yep, yeah, it was yours. Nope.
In 2005.
Yeah.
sorry. So sorry. Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on. I'm a professional.
So as like the Twilight movies were coming out, like as the phenomenon was really taking off, and that was around the same time the Harry Potter books were ending, these podcasters were like, well, maybe Twilight's the new thing. Why don't we start a Twilight podcast? And so I listened to that Twilight podcast for months to years before I ever read the books. And I didn't even plan on reading them. I just liked listening to their discussions about them.